Hi there, everybody, and welcome to Fiend's freaking fantastic Friday Night Funkin' Awards show. The title was originally going to be longer, but I had to say it, and then I realized I needed to cut it down. But I really like FNF. I have been in the community since like week 4 came out, and I had been following mods, and like I've always wanted to make things in this community, but I don't have the skills or practice in working on that. So I decided for this year I wanted to make a little end of the year wrap up of sorts. I wanted to collect a bunch of mods together and go through a bunch of little categories and stuff, and basically just give flowers to mods that I really think deserve it, and shout out mods that maybe some people glossed over and didn't give a chance, or, you know, shine some light on some mods that I really care about, that maybe one of my friends watched this video and decide to give that a try, and then I get to watch them play it, and it's a win-win. As a little disclaimer, this is my award show, so everything that I put and I say wins and I nominate is my opinions and is based off what I played this year. I certainly haven't played every single mod this year. So many mods come out and I can't keep track of all of them. I only really kept track of the biggest releases and a couple smaller ones that I really thought were interesting or had some like really cool ideas that I wanted to highlight. But if I missed a mod that you think deserves it, comment it, I will play. But by all means, if the comment section on this video can just be a way for me to find more niche, smaller mods that I haven't given a chance, I am 100% happy with that. And I want to say another little disclaimer, I have not played Flavor Rave. And before, the only mod that I know that probably could win a couple of these is Flavor Rave, because I know that mod is very good. I just haven't given it the time of date. I plan too soon. It's just a very long mod and I haven't sat down because I'm playing other. But yeah. So the rules, which are loose but they're there, are that the mod has to have released in 2025 or have had a major update for me to count it. Some mods in like the latest of late 2024 I count. The categories are all just stupid little random things that I thought were fun. And obviously, these rules are loose. They can bend a little bit, they can change. It's not 100%, nothing is set in stone. And lastly, just don't be rude in the comments, or just don't be rude to any of the mods I bring up. But before I go on, I want to first talk about the sad ones. And I want to get this out of the way, because I want to talk about these mods. I was really excited for all 5 of these, and sadly they were all cancelled for one reason or another. All of these mods were showing insanely high levels of quality and care being put into them, and it was heartbreaking every single time I would hear one of them got cancelled for any other reason. I know Funkscop was only just recently canned, and that one made me very sad to see. And it just sucks, and I hope that this type of issue, the level of expectations that this community puts on these mod developers who are just making mods for free, for fun, just because they care about it and love the material that they're making, I hope we can stop putting so much pressure on these people and like really take a step back and let them work. And it sounds so corny, I know, to say about this for something like Friday Night Funkin', but I don't know. This game and these mods have always been such a nice part of my... I mean, they've been with me through high school. I'm just now starting college, and like, I still remember, like, as stupid as it sounds, Bucks really broadening the type of music that I listen to, as a, like, nerdy video game OST kid. Funkscop reigniting this flame of the analog horror, like, unfiction projects that I was such a fan of back a while ago. Again, Funkscop came out and it really got me to start looking at them again, and that's when I saw stuff like Valle Verde and Heist being made by the content creator that got me into this game more than anybody outside of maybe Penkaru. I watched Speed play, and God, he's such a good guy. Such an entertaining content creator, and like a really good creator in general. The music that he makes and just his creative vision with everything is super cool. Top Hat Guy being made by Top Hat Guy, having such a unique little art style and just seeming like such a simple yet fun mod that would have been to jump into, and I'm very upset that we didn't get to see the realized version of it. And then there's Rerun. Rerun is a weird one for me to talk about because I am such a big EXE fan, and I know Rerun is kind of its own thing when it comes to EXE. It's all very self-contained, as opposed to something like Legacy or connected to old current iterations of 2011X and everything. But I don't know. I liked the stuff that was getting put out, and I care about everything surrounding that Sonic space. So I was excited for stuff like Twisted, and Top Loader was such an important FNF song for me and was like my favorite FNF song for so long. So the fact I never really got a playable version still makes me sad. I don't want to dwell on this screen anymore. I'll continue. I apologize for getting a little sad and negative and whatever, but these mods mean a lot, and I'm very sad that they're gonna fully release in their realized form. But moving on, for the first category of my awards, I just want to do short and sweet. These mods are all one-shots, very, very short mods that are centered around one little concept that are executed really, really well. Porafera Atoll is a beautiful mod, has such a sweet little soundtrack. I love how it's composed, has a very unique art style that looks really, really cool, based off of the Lies creepypasta, which I didn't know much about until I started researching it, but it was a fun read. It's just a really cool little mod. I thought it was really cool, especially because it was very fresh and it was something very, very new. And then the next nomination is Sonic Party Hard. I was actually on Twitter and saw the posts leading up to this mod when it was originally coming out. I was there when the creator was posting about oh, I found this really old Sonic I forget if it was a Sonic ROM or a Sonic Flash game. It was a while ago, but I remember when they were talking about it, and I saw the Twitter thread, and then I remember seeing the tweet of hey, I found it, here's the download link, and then playing it, and it was such a cool way to do that little Sonic horror switch up. I really liked it. I thought it was super, super cool. It emulates that old Flash style really well with the music and the animation and everything. It was super cool. I really do like Sonic Party Hard. And then Come Out to Play. Come Out to Play is so cool. I found Saga's work through Come Out to Play. Big fan of their compositions. The art in the mod is super cute, a very unique art style. I love how everything is animated, and it feels so it's a very fun take on EXE. When I feel so many people try to take it seriously, that mod is more of just he feels less of this edgy evil demon and more so this bully that's coming to push you around on the playground. And I always thought that was really, really fun. I especially love his animations in the lyrics section of the song, where he is actually wearing the Michael Jackson Thriller outfit, and his poses emulate a lot of that dance. I always thought that was a really cool touch. And then last but not least is Miss Me, the Miss Me build that was released by Bart and the rest of the Bucks team. What an incredible glimpse into what we could have got. The song is amazing, insanely huge glow up. I was a Miss Me hater. I thought that song sounded not great, and I knew that a lot of people liked it when it originally came out, and I didn't really understand it, but I feel like this version of Miss Me made me kind of understand the hype over the song and why people liked it as much as they did. Zibbity's poses are just super expressive and show so much emotion and character. I love the little mid-song dances that he would do and all the different sprite sheets that he had. I like that his poses seem to reference Agati sometime. Like, he just has Agati's, he does the same motions that Agati did back in the Entity mod, which I don't know exactly why. I'm uninformed on that, but I thought it was cool. I soy jacked at the screen and pointed and was like, oh, I get that, that's cool. But yeah, those are my 4 favorite one-shots of the year. And now, to announce our winner, it's Miss Me. I don't think that's very insane to say. As much as I love the other 3, this was one of the ones that came out and stuck with me. And I thought about it for a while. The other 3 came out, I said, oh, that's really cool, and then forgot about it in a couple days. But Miss Me, even like today, I still will like reopen that mod and play it just to like experience that song. It really is like, it really does make me a little sad. It's bittersweet because I play it and I'm just like, man, oh, what if we got the whole mod? Again, I'm not gonna sit on that topic. I hope the team is doing well. All the work that you guys put out is incredible, and Miss Me obviously followed suit. Now, for the next topic, I wanted to move away from the big broad mod and go down to what mod I thought had the coolest mechanics. Now, I know for a lot of people they aren't really big fans of mechanics, and they can be very divisive on whether you are or are not a big fan. Some people consider them artificial difficulty. Some people think that they're a fun extra challenge and part of what makes FNF mods and stuff unique. I'm part of that second camp. I really like them a lot. My first nomination was actually Doors Floor 1, which was a mod that I didn't give a lot of eye to, but I actually checked out after looking at this category because, if you want me to be honest, unique mechanics weren't very common in this year. But the Doors mod actually has some really interesting mechanics. Having like the heartbeat mechanic play out basically the same, but you playing it to the rhythm, I thought was a really cool way to translate the original mechanic from the game. But overall, I was very surprised by the unique mechanics and the cool ideas that they had in the mod. It really caught me off guard, because I didn't really know anybody from the Doors dev team. I didn't recognize any of the names, but the mod had a very high quality all throughout and was really, really solid. And then, of course, Pokey Pasta Perdition. Now, the mod is technically not out yet. I don't believe we've had a full release of it, but the mechanics that were showed off in this mod were so cool. From simple stuff like Charizard shooting the fire notes and you having to hit all 4 in order to not take damage, to what I thought was the most interesting one was Mewtwo's pressure applying and making it so that your health bar got shortened as the song was going on. I thought that the implementation of that was super interesting, because that combined with the health drain made the song actually like really stressful to play through. And even just the simple curse mechanic of just dimming the notes and having them go in and out of opacity. Just such a cool way to implement the Pokemon mechanics into the mod and have them translate to the FNF style. It's just so cool. I love how Pokepasta did it. And then the real surprise for me, which was 2H2L, is a mod that I'm sure you've seen, but if you haven't, TH2L has combat mechanics in it, where it will switch between the notes and singing like the normal FNF style into these full-on battle sections where you need to deal enough damage before the timer goes out, and you have a block where you need to block their attacks to hit them. You have specials. It's super cool. It was such a unique and weird mod that it was so cool to see. I was such a big fan of, like, when I played it originally, it just caught me so off guard, but it was just really cool. It was really, really cool. And with that being said, the award for coolest mechanics is going to go to Pokepasta. While 2H2L was definitely way more unique, and Doors had some really clean and cool ways to implement the original gameplay, Pokepasta translates Pokemon into Friday Night Funkin' so well. Like, it can't be stated how clean it flows together, and I think because of how it flows from the original Pokemon games, the mechanics are also easier to understand quickly in gameplay. Whereas you see Mewtwo and you see your health bar get shortened and you're like, oh, okay, it's pressure, I can't miss as much. You see these quad notes and you hear them and you hear the fire noise and you're like, okay, that's flamethrower, can't miss these or I take big damage. You see the notes dim and you're like, okay, it's cursed, that makes sense, he's a ghost. It all translates really well in the minute-to-minute gameplay, while also none of the mechanics actually hugely change the base FNF gameplay, which is the big thing for me. I like mechanics that don't intrude on the note part, because I'm playing an FNF mod to hit the notes. That's what I like to do. I like the mechanics to flow with the notes section. That's why something like Step Right Up, when you have the little gun sections in the Duck Season song, or the sections where you have to find Mama in the Tattletale song, they happen in breaks from gameplay, and they don't do a little thing where you have to quickly swap away or quickly shoot something and then go immediately back to the notes, because it really fucks up the flow of the game. And Pokepasta does a good job of not doing that, and that's why I think it deserves the award the best. Here's for my favorite one, and the one that I care about the most. The best soundtrack. You're playing a rhythm game. The music matters. I am so happy to see the FNF community expand its musical talent. People are so much better at composing than we were even just like a year ago. I feel like the quality of music and the variety of genres and the compositional quality has increased tenfold, and it just gets so much better every single year. And I have songs that came out in FNF this year that I don't mind showing to more normal people in my life, because I genuinely think they're just solid EDM songs, or solid enough like future funk, or even like pretty songs like, well, I'll talk about Beautify in a little bit, but like they're just such cool. It just makes me so happy to see people's quality in their art increase over time, and especially from mods that are getting updates like Vinyl Girl or Troubleshooting, where you can see this huge spike in the original ideas for the songs and their original things getting updated, and people composing new music and it just being leagues better than what they were making before. It makes me very happy to see. So to start off, we have Friday Night Dustin. Dustin is a mod that is very near and dear to my heart. As a very big Undertale AU kid, I care about this mod a lot, but I will talk more about that later, because this mod will come up later. When it comes to consistency in a soundtrack, I think Dustin does a very, very solid job. The quality of the mixing and the instrumentals don't get fucked up or swapped. Throughout the entire mod, there is a consistent level of quality. That being said, I don't think there are any points where the mod has this insanely high or an insanely low. I think it stays very solid and very good throughout the whole mod. Has a couple points, for example, Cornered, where I think it goes higher than the solid level of quality and gets even better, but never fully reaches that peak level for me, where I'll be soy jacking about a song for the entire rest of the year, like I do with some other songs that I'll talk about later. But that being said, overall, it is a great soundtrack. I don't think there is a bad song in that entire soundtrack. Genuinely, every single one of them I think is very, very good. I don't think there's a single bad song in all 4 of these mods. Let me make that clear. I think they are all incredible. Next is Vinyl Girl Extended Play. Vinyl Girl having its soundtrack made by Rosebud, primarily. The king of consistency. If you want to, I was talking about consistency with Dustin, but I genuinely think Rosebud has not made a bad song in their entire discography. Every single track that they put out is at worst good, and at best a instant playlist ad for me. And a couple of the songs from Extended Play were that for me. Lit Up Vinyl Girl is my favorite iteration of Lit Up that I have heard ever. Vinyl Girl Mix is such a cool idea to have those like all mixed throughout. I loved every single song in the update, but that one was definitely the one that stood out to me the most. But again, it's solid future funk. There's no miss, there's no way. It's a hard genre to really, really mess up, and they didn't. They did very, very good in it. Every single song was a jam. This mod is actually the soundtrack that if I just need to turn my brain off, Vinyl Girl is one of the first mods that I go to. And I just turn on the full mod and just let it play through and just listen. And it's a super sweet, nice soundtrack that just makes me happy. Every song just exudes so much joy. And the next, Troubleshootin'. It is hard for me to talk about Troubleshootin' in a light way, because this mod is incredible. When V2 of Troubleshootin' came out, I said that it was the best musical mod, period. Like, compositionally and soundtrack-wise, it was the best mod when V2 came out. That's speaking for just V2. This soundtrack is so good. And then V3 came out. How do you outshine V2? But they did. V3 has Capriccio and, oh my god, Adore You and all of those songs, and Ghost in the Machine, and just so many, like, huge hit and Big Shot. So many huge hits that just, you play it and you're like, how is it going to get better? And then it gets better. Every single song. It's so good. I cannot gas up Troubleshootin' any more than I already am. But with that being said, it's got heavy competition because there's Vault and Files mod. And now, Vault and Files mod is on a different spectrum for me, where Troubleshootin' is playlist ads and bangers. Every song put out there is godlike and is incredible to listen to. But Vault and Files mod has this dark, gory, disgusting, sad feel to all of its music, where it captures the essence of the original source material and the tone and feel that it exudes, and just translates it so well into the FNF formula. Whereas Troubleshootin' and Vinyl Girl are these playlist ads, and Friday Night Dustin is this like consistent, solid soundtrack that really feels like you're in the middle of the story. Vault and Files feels like you are in Bond's Burgers, and Bond is stalking you and charging down the holes right behind you, about to kill you. Beautify is a song, like, I could talk about a lot of the songs, but Beautify is the one that stands out to me, where it just captures the tone and feel of the original series so perfectly, and it is incredible. It is so good. And now I gassed up all 4 of these a lot. I talked a lot about them, but only one can be the best soundtrack. And for me, that has to go to Troubleshootin'. It's Troubleshootin'. There is not a single miss in the entire mod. It is literally a soundtrack where I was looking up composers of game over themes This is the only mod I have ever done that with. I heard the game over for Torrent, and I needed to find it ASAP, and I couldn't because it wasn't uploaded anywhere because it was the day the mod came out. And that reminds me that I need to go look for that again because, oh my god, that song was incredible. It was so good. Every song in this mod is amazing. Capriccio, the Ulagumo, I think is how you pronounce their name. The Adore You remix of Ulagumo genuinely is... That's my favorite song from this mod, and I do genuinely believe if I showed that to any of my friends into EDM, they would lose their shit over how it's composed. It is so good. I could gush about this whole mod forever, but I won't because I have a show to run. I have standards to keep up. I have a time frame. It's 11 p.m. on the 30th, and I need to make sure this gets out before New Year's. And I work tomorrow night. You gotta keep moving. So, next we're gonna go Artistic Award. This is purely judging on the art and animation of the mod, and either how it stands out with unique style, or how clean everything is drawn and animated, or just how well it represents the source material. And first up, again, for its second nomination is Porifera Atoll, which I talked about it a little bit earlier, but the art style for this mod is super unique. It looks so cool. It has this sort of paper cutout vibe that Yeah Man had in its art, but I think the choice to have the sprites animated like that works super well for the tone of the mod and especially the song, because using Charlie's Inferno as like I believe it's called Charlie's Inferno, the little paper cutout animations and everything fit it very well. And I do like it. It's a very unique art style that you don't really see anywhere else. And speaking of unique art styles, we have Rewrite Round 2, which is, to any of my friends, no surprise in this show. Rewrite Round 2, the art style in this mod, and just the weird janky 3D animations and the way that everything is, and I say janky with love, and the way that it is so smooth and clean in how everything is animated between the sprite work and the cutscenes and the random character interactions and even the menus, it all just has this iconic style. Like, you see Rewrite and you know it's Rewrite just by the animation alone. And that was even like before the FNF mod, but the FNF mod especially. You see Rewrite and you're like, that is Rewrite. Springless's art style is just so cool and unique, and I could gush about it for a while, and I really shouldn't because, again, I need to get this done. But it's just so cool. I don't think I need to explain why it's up here. It's very, very cool. And the next, back again, is the Walton Files mod. Wow, this mod is pretty. Like, in a fucked up and awful way, this mod is so pretty. The way that they're not only able to emulate Martin's style to the point that I genuinely thought he did work on the mod, but also have these new looks for Bon and all of like the victims of his, and just the way that they're animated and their sprites are so cool, and you have the art style shifts showing the different eras, like especially, and then like the 3D animation of Bon. It's just so cool. Everything done in this mod is just so interesting. And then lastly is Dustin again. Dustin, I think, has some of the prettiest background art. The backgrounds in Dustin are just so computer wallpaper worthy. I would put any background from this mod on my wallpaper instantaneously back in 2015 or 2016. 2015, the Undertone. But it's just so pretty the way everything is drawn and shaded. The sprites are also smooth and clean and such better interpretations of what the original Dust Tail mod had. And then the animated cutscene are so pretty, and not to mention you are just having like the art style shifts in the second half of the mod. The art style shifts in the second half of the song when the freedom motif comes in, and just it swapping between all the areas and how the sprites are like embedded in the back. It's so cool. Artistically, this mod is so consistently just beautifully and smoothly animated. It just oozes so much quality. And the most artistic mod of 2025, in my opinion, goes to the Walton Files mod. Again, I genuinely thought Martin Walls was on this. It is just so cool how they were able to emulate his style while also having these fresh little changes and unique takes on the original animation. The sprite work is so cool. There's so many different sprite sheets in every single song, and the camera angles are just paint Bond in such a threatening light, or even like the songs with Billy and Danny just have this like they either look scared and in danger, or like some of the most threatening pieces of horror you can see. And all of this is not even touching on mixed signals, which the 3D models and the art of just all of the characters in the background talking and interacting with each other, all emulating their original styles, and it's so cool. It is such a good love letter to all like unfiction and analog horror that has like come out in the past couple of years, and it's just so cool. I love this mod's art. I think it is one of the most beautiful mods that has come out ever. It just looks so good. I've talked a lot about the technical aspects and what came into it, but let's talk about gameplay. And most importantly, when I talk about mods, a thing that I consider that I don't see a lot of people talk about is the best first play. So your first playthrough of the mod, how easy is it to spot mechanics? How clean is the play? How are there any bugs that you run into? Is the pacing good? You know, do any songs drag a little too long? I think first play is the most important part of a mod. I think your mod should prioritize having a really strong first playthrough over replayability every time, in my opinion. And first is Tweakmas. What a cool mod. Tweakmas is such a you had to be there type of thing, same with Weekly, where you can go back to it and you can play it and it's cool, but it just doesn't hit the same. Seeing like the little promo videos get uploaded and then playing the mod, and it felt like opening Christmas presents up and just getting to play with all your new toys you got that week. It's just such a sweet experience to go through. And then 201 Street is obviously also another Studio Hopscotch project, and a very cool one at that. It really caught me off guard. I didn't know what to expect coming into it. But I think the opener, because I went to the lake first, and I had Don Da Don, the little Don Da Don song, into Starbound, and having those two be my first song really, I think, set the tone for me well. It really lets you know, like, okay, this is what you're in for. It's kind of like Weekly again, but it's its own little thing with these two little characters you follow around, and you get to connect with them, and the dialogue is all cute and quirky, and I think the characters are well written and fun to be around, and you get to just explore the map and see all these cool areas, and it has these disconnected ideas and like worlds all kind of converge into one, and it's really interesting. I like how they did it. And then Dustin is back again. Can you tell that I like this mod? I think the first song of Friday Night Dustin sets the tone of the mod super well. It lets you know exactly what you're getting into. It oozes quality, throws a mechanic at you while not being obnoxious about it with the dodge mechanic, which lets you know they're going to be in there, but it doesn't, like, you're not going to die. That even if you miss the Gasolassi, you just get sent down to 1 HP, you don't die to it. It's just really cool how they implement everything in there. The sprites look beautiful, the cutscene is amazing. It's just super well done. and then Rewrite Round 2. I don't think anything can describe the impact that Trinity had on me. Like playing Trinity Encore for the first time. I don't think any other mod has hit me in the way that that mod did when I first played it. It just, the animation and the cute little things that it had and just the insane step up that it had from V1 just caught me off guard more than I think any other piece has had. And then when the second half comes in of that song and it's just like, oh, just the full lyrics and him and Rewrite just singing to you the whole time after like the whole window goes full screen and the animation is just so cool, and then they hit the Sonic Adventure 2 pose and it's so tough. Oh, it's so good. That being said though, as much as I gas it up, Rewrite will not be winning best first play. And neither will Dustin. And neither will 201 Street, because it is actually Tweakmas. Tweakmas is such a clean mod. It is hard to explain how impressive it was that this mod did not give any bugs for how like short time frames they were making it on. I had no performance issues, no lag spikes. I didn't miss notes because of the game tweaking out. That wasn't on. Being around while the tweaks were releasing and having the excitement of like, oh my god, the next tweak is going to come out, and then it comes out and you get to play it and you get to watch the promo video, which is funny as shit, and you have all these like, it just jokes around for like 3 minutes. You just get a 3 minute jokes pumped into your brain, and then you just get to be like, okay, that was funny, and then you play the mod and it's fun and it's awesome. And it's just like, I think what Tweakmas did really nice, and what it had is it had the improvement that every single person had in the quality of their art from Weekly going into it. So whereas I think like the initial weeks of Weekly are rough around the edges, Tweakmas doesn't have that issue. It is quality in every single tweak. Nothing feels rushed, nothing feels forced. It all feels like it was done in an appropriate amount of time, finished and pumped out, and it was solid. It is super good first playthrough, and is still one of my favorite mods to like get people to play through today, because it's just so fun to go into the week and be like, oh my god, Tyler the Creator, oh my god, Kasane Teto, oh my god, Gumball, oh my god, it's regular show. Like it's just so fun. So for the hidden and unexpected gem, the first one I picked was Gumballs. This mod was shown off in, I think, either an F3 or a Funkcast. I'm not fully sure, but I remember seeing it and I was like, that mod looks cute, and it had a couple names that I recognized. So I was like, I'll give it a try, and I was surprised at how good it was. There was quality just throughout the whole mod. I didn't have a single part where I was like, I'm bored. This is, you know, could be better, has some stuff I could work on. It really just felt solid throughout the entire thing. And then I got to Funk 101. And I'm listening to Funk 101, and I think this song is really cool. And I'm like, oh, it's by Honkish, it's good. I like the Senpai and Boyfriend atonals that they use. They sound really cool. But then out of nowhere, just... And I don't know, I heard that melody for the first time and I was just like, oh my god. Like, it caught me off guard in a way that no other song in this entire year honestly did. It was just like, genuinely, Funk 101 is one of my favorite songs of the entire year. And it coming from Gumballs, just, I wasn't ready. I didn't expect it to come from a spot like that. And obviously it's not just that. The entire rest of the mod is super cute. The art style is amazing. All of the songs are really good. There are so many like funny little sections of the mod, like when Sans' sprites are just him saying vowels and they come out in Comic Sans, and the way Ina is animated, and it's all just so cute. I love Gumballs. Very, very good mod. Rewrite Round 2 might seem like a weird thing to be here, but I need to put in perspective that I was a Rewrite hater. I thought Rewrite Round 1 was just okay, and I thought the songs sounded weird, and I didn't like them. And I thought that the animations and stuff were cool and interesting, and I liked the art style, but it just never really pulled me in, and then I thought the lyrics section sounded pretty bad. So when Rewrite Round 2 came out, I saw it, and I was interested because I was a lot more into EXE at that time. So I was like, I'll check it out. I want to learn more about Rewrite. I always thought that Springless's work was really cool, but I didn't come in with very high expectations. And then Trinity came on. I was not ready for that song to be the level of quality that it was at. And just the turns that the mod takes, and just the random, insane levels of coding that it has, and the whole section where it just comes to your desktop and then you're playing on your desktop, and then Rewrite is just talking to you instead of boyfriend, and he's like, oh, boyfriend is just a little vessel to trick you into coming in, and then he's like, I'm talking to you outside of the screen. It's just so cool. I know that's what he did in the original mod, but it translates so much better in round 2, and it has just a much better sound and quality to it, and it's just so good. I love Rewrite. And then UNB. UNB is in the hidden part of the gem and not the unexpected, because I didn't see anybody talk about this mod, and it's so cool. UNB has such good music throughout the whole thing. Requiem's Philly Nice remix is so fucking nice. The sound of that song, and just his it's just so good. I love Philly Rec like crazy. It is so good. And then the Zibbity Lemon Demon song is just so cool, and it's a very, very cool and cute and short little mod that I didn't see anyone talk about, and it made me really, really sad, because I loved UNB when I played it. And then lastly, Where the Evil Lives In, which is a much more recent one, and actually just got a little update to it. This mod is made by 4 people, and primarily by one guy, and it is really good. The art and animation has the art style of the mod is really unique, and has a similar iconography to the rest of these, where you see it and it's Where the Evil Lives In. And the music is surprisingly high quality, and it was just a very impressive piece of work for such a small team. Whereas even UNB had a pretty sizable team, and Rewrite had a pretty sizable team around it, even though it was mainly Springless and Snow. It was just a very impressive little thing to see come out at the end of the year, and it caught me very off guard. But it's super high quality, and I think all 4 of these deserve to be checked out more than they already were. These mods are incredible. So good. It is insane to me. But only one can win. And for the hidden unexpected gem, I give it to Gumballs. Genuinely, I do. I think it is the most hidden and least talked about one of all of these. It's super clean, super cute. The art style is awesome. The charts were fun. The songs were nice. And again, Funk 101 might be carrying this pick, but I think it is well deserved. It is such a good song. And the rest of them are great too. Everything about this mod is great. I need more people talking about Gumballs. It is so good. Genuinely one of my favorite mods of the year. It just sucks that no one really recognized it. It kind of just came out. Some people talked about it. I saw it get a couple comments on Twitter, and then it just kind of fell off the face of the earth. Now, for this last one, I am talking about the song of the year. This is strictly music. Not talking about art or animation or the visualizer or anything like that. This is strictly the song itself and the music that came with it. I could not limit this down to one. I tried, trust me, and I would talk about all of these songs like I have talked about every mod with the past couple categories, but I can't do that because it would take way too long. There were so many good songs that released. I limited it to 3, because I think the three of them, for three different reasons, deserve to be that. And that is Susie, Trinity Encore, and Beautify. Now, I have my reasons for all of these. Beautify is my favorite emotional song of the year, which is like a weird tag to give it. But I didn't know how else to describe it. This song is dark, brooding, and the guitar in it sounds so hard, and just everything about it. It exudes the tone of the original scene and the threat that Bon is in the music so well. Every single time I listen to this, I feel Rosemary's threat. I feel the fear that she has. And Bon is just his chromatic being so his deep, low, metallic sound, using the vowels to make him laugh and do the ha ha ha. It's just such a cool little touch to add to his character. And then the little harmony that he has with himself at the end after Rosemary is dead, and while he's dancing with the corpse, which again, we're not talking about the art, but him singing to himself and having Rosemary's whole voice not end up in that last section because she's dead, and you're now singing it's just so cool. Beautify is a very, very, very good song. And then Susie. If I had to actually pick one song, it would probably be Susie, but I would feel bad doing it because I care about these other two a lot. But if I had to pick one song as an FNF song for my favorite of the entire year, it would be Susie. This is also probably top 3, if not top 1 of my favorite FNF song of all time. The way that Smokey composed this song it just hits my brain in so many ways that I adore. The just happy, bouncy feel of it having such a unique vibe compared to everything else I heard from 17 Bucks. The just incredible switch up when Chris comes in, and the way it uses the Deltarune music and samples it's just so cool. It's hard for me to talk about this because I don't know how to talk about music, but it just sounds so cool. And it's also happy. And then it gets hard in the middle, and then it's happy again. And it's just the whole song is such a good full listen through. And it just, I don't know, they convey the swapped personalities of Susie and Chris so well. The voice actors did very good jobs for their characters. Funny to listen to when the little joke sections happen. It's probably one of my favorite FNF songs ever released. It is really, really good. And then last, Trinity Encore, which you've heard me gush about 3 times already, but I'm gonna do it again. If this was a best level, if you were to call it a level and take account the music, the art, the everything, it would be Trinity Encore. But even just compositionally, I think this song is incredible. I didn't know Springless had this talent in there. No offense to them, because apparently they do, and it's really, really good. But when I heard the original stuff, I didn't know they could make something like this. This song is incredible. Every section of it is a 8-minute long song, and I don't feel, it's 8 or 9 minutes, and I don't feel bored of it throughout any of it. It sounds so good every single second of the song. It's really 2 songs rather than one when you think about it, because it's the first Trinity section and then it's Rewrite section. It's just so cool. And then the little rodent rap switch up where it does the Green Hill section and the way that section is composed, and then every single section conveys the personality of the character that it has so well. And then when Rewrite comes in and it just becomes, oh my god, Rewrite section of that song is up there for one of my favorite parts of any FNF song ever. Even before the lyrics section, just his initial introduction and the way the song speeds up and it gets faster, and then he has this little break, and then it's so cool. yeah, I hope you understand that I couldn't narrow this down to one. There were so many songs that came out this year, and I could talk about a bunch more. While I think that these three are the best three, you could pick any of the songs from this list up here, and I would consider it. Because everything up here is super, super good. There was just so much good music that came out this year, and most of my favorite FNF songs all came out this year. It's super, super cool. Now it's time for the big one. The mod of the year. Personally, this is my top 5 of the year in terms of the mods that came out. I think that all of them on a different day could have the mod of the year title, and I wouldn't disagree with you. I think all of these mods are super, super good. I think they're all incredible in one way or another. All of them were super fun to play on the first playthrough. All of them were fun afterwards. I come back to all of these mods regularly to play. It's just so, so fun. And I do think that, like, while it wasn't the best year for FNF we've ever had, this year was really, really good. I'm super excited for next year because I know there are a lot of mods that are being teased and we're getting a lot of info about now at the end of the year and like some updates for. And there are mods that have been in development for a long, long time that are looking to be finishing up in 2026. And I'm very, very excited. 2026 is looking to be one of the best years for FNF if things shape up how I think they're going, which is possible. But to circle back around, for the mod of the year, it's not Dustin. While I think Dustin was incredible and is pandering to me because I'm such a big Undertale nerd, it had a lot of issues that even I couldn't look past. Optimization problems, a couple bugs on release that have gotten patched up since then, but there's still a couple underlying things that I'm aware of. I don't think there was a bad song in the mod, but some didn't really hit me personally that well. And there are some songs that just, in all honesty, the mechanics really killed it for me. I have a couple complaints that I think would make it not qualify as mod of the year. But again, this is not me shitting on it. The mod's incredible. And secondly, it's not Tweakmas. Tweakmas is great. It was a fun experience. I think everything surrounding that mod, I think the experience of playing it is very, very fun. But there are a lot of songs in that I play, I smile, and then I go on with my day. And I don't really think about them after I play the mod. Even if I do think they're good for the playthrough and I enjoy them, I don't really think about them afterward. And I think Tweakmas is very heavily carried for me by Tweak 3. Because that one is the one that I remember it the most for, because the music is incredible and I care about basically every artist that they brought up in that last section, so it makes sense for me. It doesn't have the highs that these other 3 mods have, and so I wouldn't consider it. And it's also not going to be Rewrite, which is really surprising for me, because I thought Rewrite was for a while until I really looked back at it on this video, and going into this video I expected to make Rewrite my mod of the year. But when I looked at the mod as a whole, I think Trinity is hard carries everything about that mod. And Thriller Gen is really, really cool, but it's not, I don't think it does enough for me to really consider it better than the big packages that are Troubleshooting and Walton. So I would feel weird having like a little 2-song mod be considered the mod of the year, even if I do think the quality of it is incredibly high. And so now for the last bit, is it going to be Troubleshooting V3, this mammoth of a mod with nothing but incredible music throughout the whole thing, a whole dating like visual novel section, and just like an incredible experience to play through? Or Walton Files, this really, really cool translation of a super awesome unfiction series into the FNF formula that emulates its style while still providing so many like new things that can only be accomplished in the FNF engine? Well, for me personally, my mod of the year is the Walton Files mod. Which I know is controversial, from what I've seen. I guess not controversial, but I know a lot of people do disagree. I've seen a lot of people saying that Troubleshooting was their favorite, or that they think it's the mod of the year, and honestly, I wouldn't disagree with them for thinking it. But for me personally, I think Walton Files mod gets. It's based off of incredible source material. The art is beautiful. The music is incredible. There are so many different art styles and stuff used into it. I didn't experience a single bug, any optimization issues. I love the team, and I think the biggest one for me personally is that the Walton Files mod is concise while still giving me a lot of content. The playthrough of the mod didn't feel too short to where I was like, man, I really, really wanted more, but it didn't feel too long to where I felt like I was kind of having to push myself to finish it, which I did end up having to do with Troubleshooting. I ended up actually having to take 2 sittings to finish Troubleshooting, I think is what let me enjoy the mod a lot more. But I struggle with really, really, really big mods, especially nowadays, just because I'm working 2 jobs and like doing a lot more things outside of just playing FNF like I used to. So I value the fact that this mod is short, quick, while also being packed with very, very good content. And just, I love Walton Files mod. This is a very personal pick for me, but I love this mod, and I could go on for hours and hours about all the things I like about it and all the little touches it has that really makes it hit for me. But just to put it simple, it's my mod of the year. It was very, very good. And with that being said, that's all for my little video today. I am just happy to be able to make a little piece of content for a community that I have been a part of and been a consumer in for so long. I love FNF. Like, this game has meant so much to me for really the foundational parts of my upbringing. For middle school, into high school, and now going into college, I have been following Friday Night Funkin, base game in the modding scene, and it's not perfect. I don't think it ever will be. I can only hope that we are going to go in the right direction and keep improving and keep putting out the amazing piece of fan work that we have for so long. And I don't know, it just makes me happy to look back on this year and see all the cool things that came out, and look back on the years past and see all the cool things that came out and how we've improved from that year to now. And it's just so cool. I could gush about FNF for so long, why I think it's so interesting, but I sound like such a cornball for saying it, so I'm probably gonna end the video here. But thank you for tuning in to Fiend's in fucking fantastic, awesome award show, or whatever it was called. And yeah, that's gonna be it. You guys have a wonderful day or night, depending on when you watch this. And hopefully we have another great year. See ya.